Kiya Podcast would like to acknowledge that this episode was recorded on Whadjuk land of the Noongar people. We recognise our First Nations people as the traditional custodians of the land, and we pay our respects to their elders past, present and future.
Kiya Wanji, hello and welcome to the Kiya Podcast Show. I'm your host Izzy. It is a thrill to be sitting here today. Hey, what are you doing here?
How are you?
Good. What are you doing?
Why is that show without me?
Hey,
I'm about to be part of it.
are you coming on board?
Coming on board. Let's do it.
Oh no, far out. So I guess we gotta start again or what?
Guess so.
Okay, can we start again?
Started with
Alright.
started with us.
With us?
With us.
With us? Alright, so cut with us. Where you want me to say us?
Wherever. Not sure, but just get me involved.
Hold on. Kiya Wanji. Hello. See now I'm all thrown off. Now I don't even know.
And that's why I'm jumping on board. That's why I'm jumping on board.
This is why we need to go.
This is why I'm jumping on board to help out a little bit.
No. Do you want to do the intro?
No, I'll leave it to you.
Kiya Wanji. Hello and welcome to the Kiya Podcast Show. I'm your host Izzy, and this is now my co-host Michael Walton Sonson. Welcome aboard, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Nah, wicked man. So what's going on? We had our episode. Our ratings went through the roof on Spotify, and it was. I think it's still. We looked at the ratings before. It's still one of the highest podcast episodes in WA, and probably the highest one. Let's just say it's the highest one on the Kiya podcast.
We'll take it. It's the highest. Just say it's the highest.
We'll take it on board. So what made you come on board, man?
No, I think, like I said to you before, it's something great that you're doing and something that, isn't really out there, especially in the Indigenous community. So to have a podcast and, you're running it by yourself for a long time, and I thought, why not jump on board, get involved in it. I like having a yarn, and I like to talk about different things throughout the community and get away from sport a little bit. So this is a good opportunity, a little hobby.
It's good fun too.
Good fun. A little hobby that I wanted to do for a while, and to jump on board with you. And rather than you do it by yourself, I'll step in and I'll help you too.
That's it, brother. That's it. We'll go on. Let me have a shot at the intro.
Kiya Wanju, hello and welcome to the Kiya Podcast. Sonny Walters and Izzy.
Wicked.
See how
Sonny
I threw
Walters
my name
and
in?
Izzy, yeah, I like
See how
that.
I threw my name in first?
Sonson and Izzy together, we are Sizzy. We'll workshop that. We'll work
We'll just cut that out and just make something.
We'll workshop it. It'll take time. It's only the first. So what's been going on, man? You've been here, there, and everywhere. Last time we caught up, you was over east doing some stuff. Was it the Eddie Betts?
Yeah, Eddie Betts Foundation. So I went across. My daughter plays basketball for Coburn Cougars, and they were lucky enough to make the Nationals this year. And went across to Melbourne. Casey, they played their Nationals out there, and man, I couldn't believe how big those kids are.
Yeah, huge, man.
They're huge. It's a whole different ball game over there against those other states. But had good fun. The girls went really well. Coach Bandy Stewart is an unreal coach and
Gun legend. Coburn Cougars legend.
Yep. So the girls have been learning a hell of a lot through him, and to go over there and step it up with the big guys across and the big girls across the nation is unreal. And they played well. They played their hearts out, and they got a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of experience as well, which is even better. But while I was over there, I got in touch with Eddie Betts and helped out with his Eddie Betts Foundation, which was pretty cool, and an experience that obviously he's one of those players that I've watched from a young age, and someone that I sort of try to mould my game on, someone that I idolised throughout my footy career, and to go over there and work with him one-on-one with a lot of young Indigenous talent from all over the country, give them a little bit of knowledge about the game as well, whilst over there learning things from Eddie as well was an experience that I will remember for a long time.
Yeah, man, that's wicked. What I loved about like the stuff that I seen was Eddie's. It's not just like a touch and go stuff with the kids. Like he's actually there with them. He gets in the weight room with them. You old boys are still chucking them doing chin-ups, everything like that, man. Showing the youngins how it's done. But what I loved about that was, like you said, how you looked at Eddie Betts, growing up, how that helped shape you, small forwards. And then, kids are now doing that to you, They're seeing you come in. And who knows, maybe one day it's going to do a full circle. They're going to be the ones to go, start their own academy in like 10, 20 years time or whatever. And it's cool the precedent you guys are leaving Now, when we talk about that cultural aspect, it wasn't just Indigenous kids that was there, hey? Or that you guys played against and stuff like that?
So they had the Bashahuli Foundation versus the Eddie Betts Foundation, and it was the Indigenous versus multicultural, and guys from all sorts of different backgrounds. And it's good that the Bashahuli Foundation has been going for 10 or 11 years now, and he's been working with them from day dot right through, and that's what the Eddie Betts Foundation is trying to do as well. That they're working with the young kids from a young age, and they're working through them right through to when they can get drafted as well. And who knows, it's a certain percentage that get drafted, but there's a wealth of knowledge that they're learning in terms of they can go back to their communities and they can be role models and teach as much as they can. Whatever they've learned on this camp, they can go back there and show the younger generation coming through as well. So it's not only from a football aspect, but they go there. They learn more from a dietary perspective, healthy eating, stuff like that. But
much more good traits, man.
Man, so much better traits, and there's traits for the future as well. It's traits that they can use away from the footy field, and to go over there and experience that, do a bit of weights with them, show them little bits and pieces that I've gotten throughout my footy career. That's helped me enormously throughout that. To go over there and not only speak about sport or anything, it's just to be engaged with them. Something that a lot of them wouldn't think that they'll be hanging out and knowing Eddie Betts from a personal standpoint. So to go over there and just hang out with those young kids, and there's a few kids from Western Australia that are unbelievable players.
Crazy, man. Luke Websdale, like 60-metre bomb.
Mate, he's a gun. He's a gun. Out, whether it's football and basketball, he's a gun at both. So
I know. You just want to punch into him.
And that's the thing with Indigenous, that's the thing with Indigenous kids is that there's so much more advanced in different sports because they play it a lot. They play all sorts of different, whether it's basketball, football, cricket, whatever it may be. Because they play it from a young age, they're just good at all sports.
And then touching on that, how often is it where you come across someone that's like, I don't know what to choose. Do I choose basketball? Do I choose football? Like, what do I do? And it's like, man, well, you don't have to make that decision, at 14, 15 years old. Like, go with whatever you feel. Do both until it's time. Until
exactly.
You're in a position to choose where someone's literally telling you got to choose, then do both, man. Eh?
Yeah, well, that's what I think a lot of coaches these days are starting to get to the point where they want players to pick a sport at a young age. And I feel like that's wrong. Like, you shouldn't do that. You should just let them enjoy their sport. Let them enjoy being kids, for one. Play sport, enjoy being a kid, get out there with friends, making new friends. And that's the beauty with sport, is that you can have your footy friends, you can have your basketball friends, and then you can have your school friends as well. So sport brings everyone together, no matter what nationality, where you come from, all walks of life. You can go in and you can mix it in with anyone, which is good.
So did you like that with Layla when she was like, oh, I'm gonna go basketball? Did she go that basketball route like straight away, or?
No, she's sort of basketball and netball. All my kids are sort of like that, whether it's dancing or netball or basketball or whatever it is. And I'm one that sort of doesn't want to. She's done the footy path. She tried playing footy. She didn't really enjoy it too much, I don't think. Even though I thought she was quite good at it as well, but. That's sort of something that she can continue on down the line if she chooses to do so, but I'm not going to push her in any direction whatsoever. Basketball I really enjoy, indoors, no wind, not cold, and it's a sport that I enjoy too. It's a sport that I enjoy, and I was sort of one of those players who could have picked basketball, footy, and I picked footy.
Oh, so you chose footy?
Nah, I'm joking.
No, but like that's the only reason why I chose basketball, and why basketball's kind of taken off for me is because I started getting frustrated with footy. And then, I hate the rain.
I'm glad you pressed that.
I hate the rain. So I changed to basketball, and then it just took off, and I just haven't looked back since.
Yeah. Well, basketball's also a different sort of. The games are quick, but then also whether you're watching the men and the women, I feel like I like watching the women's sport better,
bro. Purely
because I feel like
it's proper basketball. I feel like it's better basketball.
Oh man, I feel like it's more structured. You've got to be more skillful, and that's why I enjoy. That's why I enjoyed being a part of the Perth Lynx, is because to go there and see firsthand how fast the game is for one. But then the skill level that's involved is up there with the best. So if you're not a good ball handler, you better be good at threes. If you're not good at threes, obviously in the men's basketball, you see in the NBA, there's always the big three or the one main player, but
that can take over,
and that can take over, and you can do alley-oop dunks and stuff like that. But
yeah,
you know, I like the defensive side of the game more so than the attacking. But then also you get players like Erin McDonald who got herself drafted into the WNBA. You know, you see what she did on both ends of the floor, but then also the way she passed it to her teammates to allow them to score as well. It's not just about the one player.
So crafty as well. Like I think it was one of the games I came down to. She like came down the court, just hit it, got in the lane, shifted out, N1, like far out.
Man, she's a freak. And then there's a lot of Coburn girls that play at the Lynx as well. So I give them a shout out as well.
There you go.
You know, Chibber and Steph Gorman, who are just guns, man. Like I love going to watch them play in the NBL ones, but then also going to see them, or the WNBL ones, and then to go and see them play for the Perth Lynx is unreal. And they're the role models. They're not just playing roles. They're actually going out there. They're helping in the community, but then they're also being that strong role model for the next generation of females.
Man, that's wicked. That's wicked. And to see someone like yourself, you know, being that big of a supporter for women's sport is just wicked. But like, again, I'd like, when we talk about the difference between men's basketball and women's basketball, like men, you can rely on someone being like freakishly athletic. You can rely on someone being able to just shoot the piss out of the ball or anything like that. But whereas women, it's such higher IQ.
Yeah.
It's so much higher. Like, when do you cut, reading your defender and team defense as well, because it's so like particular. Yeah, it's just way better, man.
And also they're highly competitive as well. Like they are competitive based, the female sports too.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's football, and that's why I enjoy because the the AFLW is getting bigger and bigger. Skill level's getting unreal. And the way that they go about their training is second to none. So a shout out to them as well, because they're putting in the work for the next generation as well.
Definitely. And they got to work, you know, they got to play a season, and the season has to be longer for AFLW because it's now good footy. It's not enough. There's not enough games in it for them. Like the girls, they're having to work outside of playing a professional sport at the capacity, the training that they have to do. There's so much that goes into it during the off season where it's a long time to keep fit for a short amount of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Man, that's freaking difficult.
But they also work as well.
Yeah.
So that's what everyone doesn't understand.
Or got kids or have had kids. Like
that's the thing, man. So you know they're working non-stop. They're working 9 to 5. Then they're at training as well. Maybe they leave work a little bit earlier just so they can get the training and put in the 3 hours of hard work, continuous work. Plus their diet has to be on point. Plus they have to be role models as well, because you know being a elite athlete, your job never stops, regardless of off season, in season. You don't just clock on, clock off. You're trying to pave the way, and you're leading the way, and you're being a role model 24/7 throughout your career, and maybe even beyond that as well.
Yeah. There's so much that goes into it that I think the attention is there, but there has to be just that little bit more of the effort, you know.
Yeah.
Whether it's from the public, whether it's from the system, or whatever the case may be. Like there's some talented women out there, man.
Oh, there is,
for sure.
And like I said, you know, and it's not just all, you know, rainbows and sunshine. You know, there is injuries that play a part as well. A lot of players get injured. A lot of players this and that, and you know, if they sustain injury on the basketball court, on the footy field, or whatever it may be, you know, that could also sacrifice their work away from football as well. So it's a big choice that they make to play sport. But you know, when they love it, they love it. And if they're good at it, they can be playing at the highest level, but also be role models for the next generation.
Exactly, that's exactly right. And speaking of, man, one of our guests that we had on the podcast a couple months ago, Michaela Morrison, just came back from her second ACL, and you know, played again last night for the first time in like 900 and something. I think it was. I'm taking a stab in the dark. It was like 937 or days where, you know, she hasn't played. To come back from a second knee injury like that, that's freaking awesome, bro. Like,
man.
What that does to your mental, you know, to your physical, and you know, credit to Fremantle for sticking by her, because it would have been so easy to just been like, oh, second knee, like, you know, you're done or whatever. But you know, the club stuck by her, got her through her rehab, and now look, man, that was such a wholesome moment. Eh?
Yeah, it was, and you can see, like, you know, I was lucky enough that I got to see her throughout the throughout her time in rehab, but then also around the traps at the club as well. That you know, you can see the hard work that she puts in, and you know, within that AFLW system, the way that they're all connected and the way they stick together is unreal. You see the way they celebrate. You see the way they, you know, whether it's birthdays, whether it's players coming back off injury, whether it's first gamers, the way they celebrate and the way they get around each other, you can't help but you know, feel for them, especially when they do get injured, because someone like Michaela, who's a freak footy player, to not really have a good run at it purely because of injury, and two of the biggest injuries too that any sportsman can have, or woman can have. You know, it's a credit to her to be able to get through it and get back the way she did. And you know, let's just hope that, you know, it's all ready for her to go now. Now she can go out there and she can show the nation what she can do. Because she's a role model. She loves their culture as well. She designed a few jerseys for the Dockers as well, and she's a big part of that football club.
Yeah, so good to see, man. So shout out to Michaela. If you haven't seen it already, check out Michaela's episode. If you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, just scroll down a little bit, you'll see it on there. But so, you know, this isn't just a footy podcast. So we had a couple meetings and we talked about what kind of podcast do we want to shape. You know, with you coming on board, I've always kind of just done this by myself. It is so cool and refreshing, you know, to have you on board. We've got that connection that we yarn about already, so it's just wicked to see. So we're gonna do a little bit of a segment. It's called Suss It Out.
Yep.
So we just got 10 rapid fire questions. I'm gonna say quick answers, but I also want you, you know, if you feel the need to explain a little bit, you know, you can explain a little bit about what.
Whether it's quick or not, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see.
My brain doesn't work that quick sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a lot to sort of process something.
That's right. We've seen your highlights. I'll make it up. All right. So, you ready?
Ready to
you
go.
Sure? Suss it out. This is the very first segment. All right. Weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Look, I've been to South Africa when I was about 15, 16.
Okay. Subtle flex, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was part of AIS, so I was over there for a bit.
Oh, yeah, just
no, but in saying that, you know, there was a bit of there was a barbecue on the street, and they told me it was sort of like a sort of animal that they eat over there, and I'm not really sure exactly what it is. So I'm really hoping that it was like
What, you don't know what it is? So you still don't know what it is?
No, I don't. But it was cooked. It was cooked, and I'm not sure what it was. But they said it was like I don't know, maybe cow or whatever.
Yeah,
but
that's what you tell yourself.
But I'm not really sure. At the time, you know, a few of the other players that were with me on that tour, were sort of a bit scared like I was. But I was over there, once in a lifetime experience, so I tried it. And they also do this mashed potato type stuff. I'm not really sure of the name of it, but what I thought was mashed potato is sort of something it was like a bread. And that was like a weird texture as well. So, it was a good experience, and regardless of what it was, everyone was eating it. So you go over there, you try their foods, and you get on board with their culture as well.
Oh, exactly, man. Like, just on that, I tried frog in Croatia a couple of weeks ago.
Is that why you look like one now?
Yeah. I know. No, I tried frog, and it's not that good, man. Like, the frogs was laying, like, legs open, arms open, like that.
But is it
on their back?
They got the thing in their actual...
It's like...
Yeah.
Like, legs
crazy.
was open.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was like... Ugh. But I had to eat it, because it's their culture. One of the guys there, he just...
On a stick like it's a skewer?
Nah, they had them, like... There was, like, 5 of them, like, in a circle, like, on the plate, and they had, like, salad and stuff, like, around it.
Oh, you got salad, so you're getting healthy. Yeah, it's good.
But you got to eat the frog first.
Yeah.
Texting or calling? I feel like I know this answer.
I like calling.
Calling.
Yeah. And when I say calling, it's FaceTime.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, well I feel like, you know, you got the phones, you got FaceTime, why not use it?
Yeah.
Like, rather than just talking to someone normally, like you ask anyone I speak to, it's always FaceTime.
Yeah.
And if I don't have that good connection or relationship with you, then maybe I'll call or send a text. But
Yeah.
I don't know, FaceTime's just easier. When I'm on the phone, I'm always in the car anyway, so I'm always
Right.
having it sitting there anyway.
And you got it through the Bluetooth, hey?
Bluetooth, obviously.
You don't...
Seatbelt on too.
Seatbelt on.
Yeah. You always got to think about, you know, safety first.
Who FaceTimes you the most? Outside of your family? Because, you know, family, you would have to FaceTime every day.
Yeah, okay.
Outside of your family,
yeah.
who FaceTimes you the most?
Mickey Colbung FaceTimes a fair bit. when he's not working, that is.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, you get JJ, you get, Liam Henry FaceTimes a fair. Michael Frederick's notorious.
Yeah.
Like he is bad.
Anyway.
He's bad. Anyway, just FaceTime me no matter what. So he's laying in bed, FaceTime
And
me.
you're expected to pick up? Are you like, if you don't pick up, does it get wild? Or?
No. But they do continuously ring you. So if you don't pick up that first time, it just gets annoying. So you got to do it. So those are the guys that sort of FaceTime you and the most, unless they have Androids. They usually call.
You don't want to FaceTime an Android. That's a red flag. What movie scared you as a kid?
Oh, man, there's a few movies. But I was always afraid of like Scream and stuff like that. Mike Myers,
like that
Freddy Krueger,
that real
coming in your nightmare type,
type,
theme. So Freddy Krueger was a bit of a scary topic, especially you watch it at night with your cousins, and then all of a sudden everyone else is falling asleep and you're still sitting up.
Yeah, stuff.
You don't want to go to bed. You know what I mean? So now those type of movies, Freddy Krueger. You got Chucky.
What about have you seen Jeepers Creepers?
Jeepers Creepers, that's up there, but it's not like the old school. The old school ones.
There's the old school one. The first one that scared.
Did it?
That one scared. Because you remember when they used to do Nyungas vs Yamajis, the carnival. Yeah. We was at the camp, and then all my uncles was like, we snuck into the cafeteria bit, and it said Jeepers Creepers, like, we'll be back, and this is when they had the countdown. So we'll be back in 60 seconds. And then I was like to my uncles, I was only 13, they were all 16, 17. They were like, what's this? They're like, oh, it's a comedy, you'll love it. Watched the whole thing, and I sat there like a brick. And I was trying to act not scared. I was terrified. We had to walk through this bush path on the way back. My uncle Rowan Davis, rest in peace, reckoned, I didn't hear him. We'll take off ready, we'll leave him. All of a sudden, about 16, 17, all took off, left me in the bush. And I had to walk back, and I cried the whole night.
Oh, you still cry?
I still cry. I still can't watch it, man.
Yeah. It was a bit like Candyman back in the day.
Brother.
And the old, whenever you stay at a friend's house or whatever, and it's like, he's going to say Candyman and ruin it. It's like, nah, no chance, I'm not doing that. But I don't know, I still haven't tried it.
Nah,
I still haven't done it.
I
don't think I'm going to try it.
Yeah, don't.
It's a bit like, it's a bit freaky, so I'm not going to try it.
Are you normally a shitty old?
Yeah, I'm a
shitty. I'll say it confidently. I'm a shitty old.
Yeah. A bit to the point where you make sure everything's locked at home too. At night you're locking everything because you're like, you just never know.
Everything. Whenever I go, I draw a line in the sand or something. I'm a shitty old. Favorite Disney movie?
Princess and the Frog.
Gun. That is a great answer.
Oh, bro.
Evangeline.
Bro. But the thing like I used to watch it when Layla was younger, but the thing was like the songs and I just find the storyline to it. It's something that us blackfellas would, you got the whatever that. Bro, like it's just the best show ever. You know what I mean? Like, and even now you still try and find it, but I can't really find it on anything. So that's something I want to show my kids now.
When Ray, the mosquito, the firefly, when he died.
I know, it was just saddest thing ever. But the crocodile had me.
The crocodile
I love
is
the crocodile. All sitting on it while they're singing their songs.
With his trumpet, boy.
That's the best. So that was, and I reckon still to this day would be one of my most favourite kids shows.
That's a great freaking answer.
I'm glad someone's watched it.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Every time I bring it up with someone, they're like, I'm not familiar with it.
Gumball. Sure. He learned how to mince.
Bro, it's like kangaroo stew, man. It's the best show ever. Yeah, so
fix everything. Have you ever been starstruck? Was there been a time where you've been like real starstruck?
Yeah, and it's not really because I was a massive footy head growing up, and that's something that I've always wanted to do. In my second game, we played against Geelong. I played on some of my idols, Gary Ablett Jr., Matty Scarlett. I was real close with, and to run past someone like Gary Ablett was just I was sort of in awe of it, and it was a bit, I don't know, it was a little bit weird because it felt like a bit of a dream. So those types of footy, I can always say footy players and this sort of stuff. You got Adam Goods, who I was lucky enough, and who's a big advocate for Indigenous community as well. Someone that I looked up to as well growing up. Eddie Betts, who I was lucky enough to work with. Throughout his program. So.
You know how the kids all talk about like aura and stuff these days? Did any of those guys have aura when you like seen them?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Gary Ablett definitely did. Just because you don't hear too much from him.
Yeah.
You don't see too many. He doesn't go on too many podcasts. You don't see him on interviews or anything like that. So someone like that, you sort of once you do run past him, you're like, oh, it looks fake. Like you want to touch him to see if he's real. I was trying to catch him here and there, trying to bear him to see if he was real. You know, he was like Jesus running around. You know what I mean? So someone like that, it almost feels like they got a halo on top of their head, and you're like, oh man, he's fake.
Yeah.
But then Dustin Martin is one of those other players. Someone who's sort of, built this, this new character within football that a lot of kids, haircut, tattoos and stuff like that. So someone like him had a massive aura, especially because he was, he didn't say too much. He just let his footy do the talking, and he won a Brownlow medal, he won premierships, he won Norm Smith medals, and to see someone like that leave the game is almost sad, but then also at the same time, he paved the way for a lot of other
Did he leave the
players
game
as well.
though? Did he leave the game though?
Who knows? He's one of those players who keeps things close to his chest. So
You never know.
But I mean, what is there to prove for him? He's done.
Well,
he's done everything.
other than the love for footy, man, like, there's been so many players where they take maybe a year off and then I think, man, I still feel good. I still can play.
Yeah.
Like I gotta come back because you get so used to that lifestyle, that training, that regimen. I don't know, man. Dusty in a Gold Coast jersey would look wild.
It looked crazy. And,
That would look wild.
for someone like Dusty, if he did go up there, would be unreal for that footy club. But I can't see him. I feel like he's a loyal customer. He's loyal to Richmond, but also to the game as well. And I feel like he's put his all blood, sweat, and tears into the game. And I just feel like there's nothing for him to prove anymore. He's, he's going to go down as as one of the best players in the competition ever.
Definitely. Morning person or night owl?
I'm a night owl and I'm a morning person.
How'd that work?
Well, I go to sleep late just because when I come home from training or if I come home and
decompress.
Well, you want to sit on the couch. You want to be able to catch up with your shows, and by the end of it, you're like, oh, it's almost 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
So then you try and go to sleep, but then I'm one to get up early and have my coffee as well.
Yep.
I enjoy coffee, so I go to bed thinking about that coffee.
Yeah. Do you plan your coffee like for the next day? Just be like, because I do that sometimes. Sometimes if I've got like a morning free, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go to this place because I know they got good coffee.
Yeah.
And it's gonna just set it off.
Well, I'm a snob, so if there's a coffee that I don't like or that didn't make it to the way that I liked it, I won't go there again.
Yeah.
And maybe I might give them the benefit of the doubt here and there. But if they do it the second time, I'm not gonna.
Coffee this morning was pretty good, man.
It's good coffee this morning.
That was great coffee this morning.
And that's what I mean. Like, so good coffee shops, I tend to go back on the regular, no matter how far away it is. I'll still go and check them out whenever I can. But
I like the cups.
I'm a snob.
I like the cups too. I'm real thing. If they have a good cup, if it's a good cup and a good coffee,
they're winning. If it's a good cup and a good coffee,
it makes a difference.
Mate, I'm putting money into that store.
Yeah. Favorite TV show?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Still to this day, man, I sit up. And
I didn't see this answer coming at all.
That's why I'm a night owl, because I sit up and I'll tell you right now, I watch Seinfeld non-stop.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's old. It's something that reminds me of being back at mum's house as a young kid and switching on the TV and Seinfeld's always on. But yeah, every episode I continue to watch it from start to finish, and it's one of those shows that I just continue watching.
That was good. I did not see that coming. That was probably the last show I thought he was gonna say like Home and Away or something.
No, come on now.
Seinfeld, bro.
Oh, look, I won't lie. I've watched Home and Away here and there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not... Yeah, I've watched it. But I feel like that show never ends.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
there's just a never... It just...
I don't know. Is Alf still on it? Or is he...
It was crooked last time I saw. Not
crooked.
that I watch it. But
Last
time I saw it, it was crooked. So... But fair play to them to continue on with the show like that forever. And, that's sort of one of those shows also, a bit like Seinfeld for me. A lot of people would, think of their childhood as well.
Yeah.
Alf Stewart's been in there ever since we were born. So...
Yep. They produce some stars, man. Like... And Neighbours as well produce stars. Like,
that's the thing, man.
You see in interviews, Margaret Robbie still talks about Neighbours. A lot of people still talk about Home and Away and Heath Ledger and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Well, that's the starting point,
yeah.
bro. So they start there, and it also gets them into that sort of stream of work. And a lot of them do go overseas, whether it's for 5-10 years, but I find they always come back as well.
Yeah.
Whether it's with Dancing with the Stars or doing something like
anything
that, you know
like
what I mean?
that.
Like they always come back to.
But even
to
when you
Australia.
see him in like big movies, you're like, oh, that's for example, Brax.
Yeah.
From Home and Away. See,
Yeah.
everyone knows Brax because everyone grew up in that River Boys era of Home and Away.
Yeah.
But then you see him on a movie like what was it, Hercules with The Rock, and
Yeah,
then he's at the front, and immediately you're like, oh, Brax. You don't give a what character yet, censor. You don't care about what character they're playing there. You're like, Brax.
Well, that's the thing, man. So I'll tell you a story. I was in Melbourne. We were playing against. I can't remember who we were playing against. St Kilda or someone. Anyway, talking about neighbours and stuff. Do you remember Harold?
Yeah,
Harold from
of course.
Neighbours. So anyway, the glasses and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So Harold, and it was funny because I went to. It might have been. I can't remember what shopping centre it was, but I was walking to the perfume aisle or whatever it was, and I stopped and I said to Stephen and Brad, I was like, look, Harold. And I'm not familiar with his actual name. I just know him from Harold, the childhood show. So from Neighbours. And anyway, I'm yelling out, Harold. Can I have a photo? And he's like, oh, yeah, have a photo. He like turned at me and he had a photo, whatever. But it was one of those things where, and like I sort of said to him, I was like, do you get it all the time? Do you get people calling you by your acting name rather than your actual name? And he's like, all the time. Like he just gets people calling him Harold, and I guess that would happen with Brax as well.
Yeah.
And no matter who it is, Alf Stewart. What's his
Uncle.
see what I mean? So that sort of stuff
Pop out.
So that sort of stuff, they build a character, and it's their character for life, and it's the character that that people only know them by, and that's.
It would be hard. Like, I wonder if they get a little bit of split personality sometimes with it. You know what I mean?
Well, I reckon they would.
Like, it's like an alter ego. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with me, it's like Izzy's kind of like the performing kind of like thing. And then you got, if people know me as Isaiah, then it's like, oh, they really know me. Yeah. Do you get that with Sonson sometimes? Is Sonson different to Michael Walters? Or?
Yeah, I feel so. Like I feel as if like,
it's like Black Mamba. It's like Black Mamba.
Yeah, sort of that mentality. I feel like Sonson or Sonny is me now. Like it's weird. All through school, all through junior footy or whatever, people say Sonny, Sonson, and when people call me Michael or whatever, it sort of feels a little bit weird at times.
Yeah.
But sometimes you catch yourself. You're like, I can hear someone call him Michael like 3 or 4 times. You're like, they're talking about me. So yeah, I find it weird, even like commentators throughout footy, Sonny Walters and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's me and that's my name, and I feel like there's not many people with Sonny or Sonson and that sort of stuff. You're getting more and more these days. I'd like to say I'm the reason why, but no, you're getting more and more these days, and you see a lot of kids that are named Sonny and Sonson. That I feel it's pretty cool because I feel like it's a cool name. It's simple, and like I said, not many people have it.
Yeah, that's wicked. But I reckon, like, getting into that mindset of being an actor, having a character, man, that would be so difficult. I don't know how people do that. Anyway, back to the questions. Far out. It's taking me a long time to get through these damn questions.
How many questions we got?
Short. We got 2 more to go. Wait, no, 3 more.
Wow.
We got 3 more to go. See, because we're getting hung up. Short, sharp. You still got 10 to go as well. What song do you sing your heart out to that you don't want anyone to know?
Well, I don't know if I don't want anyone to know, but
they're gonna know now.
I'm always singing like Jimmy Barnes, K-San, Cold Chisel. I don't know. There's a
You're a true blue Aussie, mate. You're a true blue Aussie.
Ted Hawkins, boom, 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 boom. Like all those sort of songs. Like I enjoy country music. Same with yourself is a big part of our lives, and
nostalgic.
Yeah, and talking about stuff that brings you back to when you were a child and brings you back to certain songs you can remember. Oh, I remember listening to that with my grandparents, and we were here and we were there, or whether it's that playing cards with your family members, and there's songs in the background that you just remember. And country music is something that I enjoy and I listen to before games. Not only just to get me up, but something that sort of brings me back to earth and makes me figure out makes me think about I'm lucky to be in the position I'm in.
Yeah.
So I think that's country music plays a big part in my life.
And just settles you. Just settles
me,
grounded. Yeah. Nice answer. Best compliment a fan has ever given you. I'm gonna say that again because I that up. Best compliment a fan has ever given you.
Compliment. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think a lot of fans tell me that, or they say thanks for being myself. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But you're always yourself, so
yeah, I don't try and
hard, like that's.
Like
but
I'm
that's
a role
rare
model
as well.
Yeah, well, I'm a role model, but I think Denzel Washington once said that there's role models and then there's guys that play roles, and I feel like I'm a role model and I like to. Not bad, eh? I could be wrong.
Maybe not bad for a first episode there.
Maybe I made that up. I don't know. I'll claim it. I think it's Denzel Washington or someone, and that's something that sort of stayed with me forever. Mm-hmm. And also, like, and I'll give Fifey a plug because he told me once before that, he goes, footy's a part of my life, it's not all of my life. And I feel like I've got a much bigger life away from footy than in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think trying to be myself throughout most part of it.
Yep.
Is something that I've sort of tried to value my career on. I don't know. That's
a great compliment. That's a great compliment.
I like it.
Last one. Very last question. Probably the most important one. Jordan or LeBron?
Look, I'm
careful.
one for eras. So depending on what era you're from, I know like a lot of older heads would say Michael Jordan and a lot of the younger kids these days wouldn't know too much about Jordan, so they'll definitely say LeBron. And I don't know. I feel like it's a bit like in footy. Would Plug a Lockett be able to play the same way he does now with roll-off defenders? Or back then, would they be able to handle someone, or nowadays, would they be able to handle one-on-ones with Plug a Lockett, who's a strong beast and he can, kick goals left, right and centre?
So you're saying, I feel like you're avoiding the question, but that's okay. So you're saying they're the greatest of like their time, or
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to judge. It's hard to pick. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people are going to talk about points and this and that, but it's different. I can only talk from a footy perspective, and it's like, right, there's so much more roll-off defenders. The wingers are helping a lot, but I'm not saying that those players back in the day, whereas more one-on-one, harder hitting game.
Yep.
I wouldn't be able to stand up if I get a bump back in the day from Byron Pickett or
or G-Train or something
G-Train or these hard nuts, So, and fair play to G-Train, like he was hard, he was good in the air, but then also he was good on the lead as well. He can also kick some goals.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying with the Plugger Lockett and Jason Dunstall, those guys are unreal kicks at goal. One-on-one, I don't think there's too many these days that can beat them one-on-one. Purely because they're so big and strong. But at the same time...
But then what about today's... You get today's fitness level that you've got to be...
Running half-backs.
Agile, yeah.
The wingers coming around to help
You've got to be able to two-way run.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. So it's hard. It's different eras. The game each and every year changes.
I feel like it's a bit more skillful now.
Well,
especially in terms of being able to run and carry, being able to hit targets, and also, you didn't really have much zoning sort of defense back then in there as well.
Well, there wasn't the 6-6-6 starting.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day when...
you start right up on the...
Yeah,
on
we're not
square.
back in the day because I'm not that old.
Back in the day,
but I remember early days of football where...
Back in my generation.
Yeah. Back in the... early days of my career where you get Eddie Betts start off the back of the goal square.
Yep.
So D50 back of the goal square and just come humming straight through and try and get a handball receive and then go
and then
forward.
just keep going.
So a lot of players sort of tried that. A lot of teams tried that, but then the era came in with Richmond with the tap on and get the ball going forward and rush kick it and get field position. That sort of era stepped in as well. But then there was also roll off defenders, which McGovern and Barras bring into the game. And so I mean, there's different eras. It's hard to say who's the better player, who's this and that.
Okay.
I just enjoy footy and basketball for what it is, and whatever sort of game style is attractive at that time, I sort of jump on board with.
Yep, that's right.
So I sort of avoided the question.
Yeah, a little bit.
In a way.
Kind of in a way. It's a good answer. I'm not going to say it was a bad answer. It was a good answer.
I didn't pick a player.
But I like that you can recognise that you avoided the question.
Yeah, and I didn't, well, I had to because I can't pick a certain player. And same as with footy, I can't pick this player and that player because everyone brings strengths to the game and that's what creates these topics.
You should be a politician. You're doing well.
Yeah. Chuck me in.
Chuck me in.
No, but and that's what I'm saying. Like, without these players changing generations of sport and generations of game styles,
Right.
It wouldn't make it more attractive. So I guess that's why.
Very true
I sort of
answer.
answered it that way.
Very true answer. Do you have questions for me or not?
I've got some, but we'll wait until a bit later.
We'll wait till a bit later. Perfect. So, talking about, the different types of, different types of gameplay, going into grand final, you see how Brisbane just picked apart Sydney Swans. So, if you've been living under a rock and didn't get a chance to catch the grand final, you didn't really miss much, to be honest. You didn't really miss much. It was over after the first quarter, but what was your take from it?
Yeah,
so I need to close.
Yeah, no, exactly what you said. I thought going into the game, obviously Sydney had an incredible year. They were top of the ladder for majority of it as well. A lot of gun players. They had a footy style that was fast, that was exciting to watch. You got the big lizard running off half back who just tucked his tail between his legs and he was gone.
Wait, you reckon his neck and shoulders hurt when he runs? Because how he puts his head forward? I was thinking surely that hurts your neck, bro.
Mate, it's unreal. But the way that he can pick apart the opposition teams with his kick, his running style, he brings excitement to the game. You're like, he's going to get caught, but for some reason he finds his way out of it. So, Sydney was an unreal team. I thought it was going to be a closer grand final, but to Brisbane's credit, they came from 6th or 7th or whatever it was.
Yeah.
To come in and win a premiership was unreal and well coached and
fifth
maybe,
or sixth or something. Yeah.
So it was
madness.
It was unreal the way they came in. You can see that they were primed, ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Just especially from the first bounce. They're hard at it. So I was going to say it was hard for Sydney to sustain that sort of game style throughout a whole year. But I wasn't in their position to speak on because their game style stood up throughout the most part of the year.
Yeah, very strong year, and then I seen there was a little bit
which is also before. I have to cut in. Freo were the only team to beat both grand finalists, and that was tough.
So Flagman or 2025?
No, I'm not saying. Well, hope so. Look, I hope so. I'm not saying that, but at the same time, I'm saying
that is true. I did see that post.
It was hard to watch because you're like, okay, so we beat them both, but obviously we just weren't good enough.
That would be difficult to see.
Yeah, but we just weren't good enough at the end of the day, and all credit to the both teams that played off in the grand final. Brisbane Brisbane are the premiers, and it's good to see someone like Lachie Neale. Someone that's one Brownlow, two Brownlows maybe, to go out there, and someone that I had a good connection with, still do. To go out there and win a premiership is unreal.
That's wicked. You're happy for him, but it's see you next year too.
Happy,
good. Proud of you, my brother. Love you. See you soon.
Hope so. It'll be nice.
That's it. And there was a little bit of talk about Charlie with the shaking hands sort of thing, but I reckon that's just heat of the moment type thing. I don't think he's the type of person to not shake a kid's hand. I met the bloke that many times. He's a nice bloke.
Yeah.
Always got the time of day. Is always, giving fans the time of day as well. Obviously like with yourself, people notice that sort of stuff. It's how you interact with people and that. Yeah. I don't reckon he's the type to not shake
But
his
also,
hand, bro.
everyone just looks for the negatives.
True as.
Within things. So, there's always going to be some little things that people forget, whether it's, for Lachie Neale being the captain to go up there and he has to speak about the sponsors, the fans, and all this. You're going to miss something sometimes because you're caught up with the moment. Obviously,
it's something you dreamed about your whole life.
The whole life, and they would have felt like it was that it wasn't real. So at times you're going to forget something. So for Charlie to forget to shake the young kid's hand or whatever, he didn't mean it.
Yeah.
He didn't mean it, and I feel like it's people just trying to.
They're just trying to nitpick.
They're trying to find something that's not really there.
Yeah, I seen a little video and it had a compilation of heaps of different players to, whether they forget to give the kid the hat, whether, they forget to shake the hand or whatever the case may be, but then it wasn't really blown up in that big of a portion than what Charlie's was.
Yeah.
So I seen that, I was like, this is just, picking. This is just picking.
This is just picking all sorts of different stuff. Yeah. And it's annoying because and that's the thing with social media and stuff like these days, a lot of people are picking negatives
Yeah.
rather than positives and talking each other up and
Yeah.
just being more of a having more of a positive vibe about things.
That's it. There's a
like I
young
said,
black
people
fella that just won a friggin' AFL premiership.
be proud of.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and of course, the young kid, who knows? Maybe he went up to the young kid after and realised.
Yeah.
Went and shook it. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But they're not gonna. No one's gonna speak about that if he did or not.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's always that negative that people love to throw out because obviously negative stuff creates controversy. Controversy creates talking points for people to talk about. And
Exactly.
I'm not about that. I try and
clickbait
stay away
stuff.
from all that sort of stuff because at the same time, there's a lot of positive stuff that we could be talking about
Exactly.
within the community, whether it's Indigenous, non-Indigenous, multicultural. There's a lot of people doing good things, and why can't we speak about that? And that's why I wanted to jump on board with this because I feel like this is a positive outlet. Obviously, there's going to be some negative stuff that you talk about, but at the same time, we'll try and look for negative,
But that's it.
positive stuff.
We can depict the stuff. We can find the positive stuff, and that's why I'm honoured to have you on because we can find the positive stuffs in these topics, in these tough topics. Whether it's about the welcome to country, whether it's about deaths in custody, whether it's about those sort of things where it's all right. It can be shaped or viewed as a negative topic, or we can try and talk about it and let's really depict what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's such a huge part in today's, with how we get news out there, with how we get talking points out there, with social media being the main form where people are consuming their information, taking in information on social media. You don't really get to pick and choose what you look at, what you take in, and then how your opinion of something is how you come to that opinion. You're literally just taking in information.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like we've got the answers for everything either.
Yeah.
You know what
we
I
can
mean?
just we can just talk about from our point of view.
Yeah.
And then if you don't like it, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
And we won't read it. You can put it in the comments.
But at the same time, I feel like some things need to be talked about. But at the same time, like I said before, you don't want to be negative all the time. You don't want to make this podcast. We don't want to make this podcast about negative stuff. We want to try and give people their flowers whenever we can, and but also at the same time talk about the positive stuff that's happening out there within the community and within life.
Yeah, exactly. And what I've found, with the weeks that I've had, talking to Kenny the Jet Smith, talking to Philly from the Chunks and Philly show, they're all about finding their voice. They've all got their own. Obviously, Kenny the Jet Smith is an elite.
Here we go, just throwing names out.
Elite, just a couple of times here. But Kenny, talking to him, he's like, you've got to find your voice. And I feel like I've done that. And he's like, once you find your voice, you bring that into everything that you do.
Yeah.
Whether it's, engaging with one person at a time, whether it's talking to 1,000 people, whether it's, emceeing the Waffle Grand Final or anything like that. Once you have your own voice, that's what, people associate you to. And you've got to be able to have the confidence in seeing other people's opinions.
Yeah, exactly. And like with you doing what you're doing as well is also, it's another avenue for a lot of younger generation coming through as well. You don't always have to be the athlete or
that's it,
or whatever it may be. You could, if you love to talk or you love to be yourself and just have a yarn. Like the thing is too, like within radio, and I've done radio a few times, and you do stuff on the news and stuff like that. The key is to be yourself and not try and be like someone else, or not trying to sound smarter than what you are. Like there's no need. Like I'm not the smartest or the brightest bloke going around, but I'm just happy with who I am, and I just be normal as much as I can and be positive because you don't want to be like someone else when you're on TV, but then at the same time go away and then you're a completely different person. Like it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of and it does take a toll on you. So just be as normal as you can.
It's noticeable, man. It's noticeable.
And I feel like and I feel like that's what you do. Like you within doing what you do, whether it's emceeing, to see Indigenous people getting involved in that, men and women. I feel like it's a good thing for the community and good thing for the next generation coming through. Because like I said, you don't have to be the athlete or you don't have to be the the gun at basketball, whatever it may be. Like
I can be both.
You can be both. Yeah. There you go. But I just think be yourself, be genuine. And who knows where your path takes you.
That's it.
That's it. Just try and find something you enjoy doing.
It's been a wild adjustment. You know what I'm getting now? I'm getting the I'm the snap your fingers guy. Whenever I meet people, you're the
Is that because you're not sure who they are and you try and
No, that's what they do. They're like, you're the the basketballer, he does a podcast and
the part-time basketballer.
The part-time the ugly motherfucker. Not son. But I'm getting that everywhere. I'm the snap your fingers guy.
There should be a poll. Who's the best looking now?
Who's the best looking? We should put that poll up.
Because you had the poll up last time and it's like, who's the best looking on the pot? And you were the only bloke on there.
Yeah, exactly.
And you still had 1%.
I still had 0 votes. So, this could be something. So vote now.
No, we're not doing a poll. Wait a couple of shows before we start doing
Well, you
polls.
got a haircut. Yeah, exactly. You got a haircut. So I didn't get a haircut today. They couldn't.
No, but we don't.
I tried to book in, and they were like, "We're all but look." Sonny booked out every appointment.
A dating show for you.
Well, what's the point in doing this, Ted? You're married with 3 kids, bro. I'm trying to get like you.
We're here to just have a yarn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, all right, part 2. Should we go part 2?
We'll go part 2.
Let's go part 2, and then we'll do our flowers of the week.
Yeah, and I just want to know. So,
Right,
you got any quick fire questions?
Do I get? Are they quick?
Well, I want it quicker than mine because mine sort of dragged on and mine really took up too much time. Really, to be honest.
No such thing.
I want to know. All right, quick fire. Ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
I want to know, what is your comfort food?
Comfort food. Probably just steak and potato salad, but nungi potato salad.
But comfort, that makes you feel...
That makes me feel so good. But, okay, it's hard.
What if you're feeling down and feeling like you just came off the basketball court, whether it's training or games, and you feel like shit?
Nah, you're going to laugh at me, bro. Honestly?
What is on the way home to make yourself feel better? What is your, go-to?
Man, honestly, if I can get, no matter what day I have, good or bad, if I can come home and have a cup of tea and the Scotch Fingers biscuit with the chocolate at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I eat that while I'm watching Power or something. I'm happy, bro. I am so happy. And I was talking about this with Ross at Nova, and he's like, "What are you? You like 50 years
nice
old?"
Biscuits, bro.
Yeah, he's like, "You 50?" I'm like, "Bro, like you don't understand. Like that's my wind down time. That's a cup of tea, Arnott's biscuits or Tim Tabs. So Arnott's, Tim Tams, if you want to sponsor us. But I don't dip it in. I feel like that's the I keep it separate, like peas and carrots.
Nah, you got to dip it in, I reckon.
You dip it in? Do you do the thing where you where you drink it like a straw?
Oh, that's Tim Tams.
With Tim Tams? Do you do that?
Bro, with Tim Tams.
Bro,
I
grow
do it
up.
all the time with Tim Tams, bro.
You gotta grow up, all right?
What?
You're 34, and you grow up.
Come on now. What about the Oreos and the old advert back in the day?
Oh, well, you gotta twist. Whoever
First you
gets
twist
the...
then you lick it, then you dunk it. Is that the way it goes?
Still talking about... You still talking about Oreos? That's actually... I just had mad, that was just mad flashback of, Oreo... Not of Oreos. Yeah. Well, that was crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's the best, man. But I'll do I dunk them in. But it reminds me of my nan and pop going to their house and always have biscuits and have that, what's that little mug, but it's like a tinny sort of...
Yeah, the
creamy colour or whatever it was. And yeah,
they're the best. They hit different.
And they're hot.
And they're hot. You got to grab it by the handle.
They stay hot, man.
Yep.
And they're big too. So it's a big cup of tea too. Big cup of tea. But that just, anyway.
Yep. That's my go-to, man. Cup of tea. I don't care how old.
All right. If you're an animal, what sort of animal would you be and why?
If I was an animal, what animal would I be? Probably an eagle. Probably a wild lich.
Why's that?
Look. Yes, I'm an eagle supporter.
I didn't know that.
Unfortunately, you didn't know that? You actually didn't know that?
I actually did not know that.
Eagles on my team, unfortunately.
Who was your favourite player growing up?
Ben Cousins.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Cousins is still my favourite player. Like, you've been to my house, got a big poster of the jerk. Since 2007, I got that poster from my grandparents.
What was your first ever jersey? West Coast jersey? I'll tell you which one I liked.
I had my very first one, was actually My very first one, I actually got it signed by Nick Nat eventually.
Nick Nat.
Yeah, Nick Nat signed it eventually.
You wanted him to sign it.
Yeah, I wanted him to sign it. I don't even. It was at Subiaco.
I could have done it for you.
Remember the?
I could have got him to sign it.
Remember the old. You wouldn't know because you would go out the other side, but on the opposite of the freeway where West Coast players would exit.
Yeah,
on the Subiaco end.
Yeah.
Yeah, got him to sign it there, and it was.
Wasn't there a car park on the bottom?
Yeah, car park at the bottom, and there was a big
Oval.
big light, the big oval at the front, and they'll come through that tunnel bit. So I got him to sign it there, and it was the old yellow, white, and blue one with the eagle head on it. I think that was my.
Yeah.
It was either that one, but I think my favorite one is like the old Glenn Jakovich type ones.
Yeah,
with the
red
big eagle with the red. Yeah.
Bro, that was unreal, that one. And that was
was
one to say
elite.
that was probably one of my favourite West Coast ones, I reckon, just because it was different and it was just, I don't know, it just reminds me of that era too.
Yeah.
Of the
Wicked
Demolition Derby back then, and then like you said, Jakovic and
Yeah, guns, man. Bunch of guns.
bro, all the good
but I'd
players.
be an eagle because I'd like to fly. But I like to fly, even though I'm scared of planes. I'd like to, if I can control it, I'd like to fly, oversee everything, you know. Yeah.
All right, what's the weirdest thing that you've eaten?
I can't say her name. No, make it, I cut it out. Cut that out.
He's an idiot, an absolute idiot. Isn't he?
No. Nah, weirdest thing I've eaten. Yeah, probably the frogs. Probably the frogs.
Frogs?
Probably the frogs. Oh, I've had snail.
But what was the frog like? But was it tasty or was it
It was-
texture?
oh,
was it
man.
were you eating
It was kind of like
Meat?
if I could describe it to you, it would be
jelly,
like
soft?
it was jelly. It was textury. It was kind of like raw chicken.
Yuck.
It was kind of like exactly raw chicken.
Coffee or tea?
Man, I like coffee. Both, man. I'm coffee mad in the morning.
Yeah.
I love coffee.
Yeah.
But I like tea to wind down. Even though apparently it's got caffeine in it too, or something. But I like tea to wind down.
Does it?
Apparently,
You learn.
I don't
you
know.
learn new things, don't you?
But I love a good coffee, bro.
But like tea, are you black tea or white tea?
White tea. I've only in the last 2 years I've changed to almond milk. I like almond milk. Skin folds, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get the skin folds down.
Is it really good for your skin folds?
Yeah, you know, there's no fat. But since I've switched to almond milk, like honestly, my digestive system is all good. But if I drink normal milk, bro, I'm farting all day.
Thanks for letting us know
Just
about
blowing
your
it up.
digestive system.
So if you
it's
get-
what we just want to know about you. We learn
This is what you want to know. But so if you know any strange smells from this podcast room, just know I drank normal milk today.
All right. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I
tell you what I'd hate to have, reading minds.
was just about to say I'd like to read minds when I want to.
Just when you want to.
When I want to, like you could turn it like off and on.
Yeah, no.
Like that would be pretty cool. Like
I
imagine,
would hate to know what people think about me, really.
Like,
Even though I don't really care, but
but then
at the
like
same time.
you could just switch it off. But then imagine imagine your
But then you switch it off and you're like, I wish I did it because I just want to know what he thinks of me, or what she thinks of me,
Well, like-
or what they think of me.
imagine playing footy though, and you're one out in the
And he's
pocket.
like, I'm gonna step, and it's like,
And
I know where you're going.
yeah, you know where you're going. Or the ball gets kicked out. You're both running onto it for like 10
Or even
meters.
basketball, go to shoot a three.
And imagine hearing him like you know, he's like, oh, I hope he doesn't pick the ball up here and keep running. I know I'm not strong enough to tackle him.
Yeah.
Imagine knowing
Yeah,
that would be pretty dirty.
It'll help. There's no doubt it'll help. So you just want to use it on the field.
I would love to use it on the basketball field. Oh, I don't know.
Basketball
Casino?
field.
A basketball field? Dopey. Basketball court, footy field. Oh, even at the casino. I use it at the casino.
Yeah, I've got a real controversial one now.
We're all about
So-
controversy here. I'm comfortable, man.
Are you a pizza man?
I am a pizza man. I love pizza. Of course.
Are you a pineapple on the pizza or not?
If I get a Hawaiian,
Hawaiian? Yeah.
Well-
but are you a pineapple? Like, do you?
yeah, I love pineapple.
Yeah, it's nice on a pizza.
I
Right?
like pineapple. Like
many people-
even on like a meat lovers or like bro, it's pineapple's nice.
Pineapple's nice. It just has a different flavor, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes it cool rather than
It just gives
I
it
don't
that. It like pops. It like pops.
It's
You
nice.
know what I mean?
It's nice. It's nice. All right, so you're a pineapple man. I
definitely.
like that.
Like
I
pineapple,
that.
man.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Man, chewing.
Chewing food or chewy?
Chewing.
Okay.
It does. Oh, bro, I can't do it,
What are your
man.
thoughts on footy players chewing?
Chewing. Oh,
Liam
bro.
Ryan is huge.
Yeah, I hate it, bro.
It's
Even
chewing.
when I see it, like if I'm watching the game and I'm home, I even like, bro, I can't do it. And I blame my little brother because growing up, he would sit across the table from me, and I hate people chewing with their mouth open. I'm like, and I'd chip him, and I'd be like, chew with your mouth closed, and he would start crying, and then he would like put his head down. And I'm like,
Yeah,
bro, it's the sound of it. Like
It's
it's
a
not
disgusting
thing,
sound. Yeah, it's not
but
great. It's
chewing, even like chewing gum sometimes, like bro, my eye twitches, and then, oh man, I hate it. I can't do it. It drives me insane.
Well, I'm glad we got through that.
Oh, it
'Cause
drives-
I hate chewing.
bro, it
and
drives
even
me insane.
and even people that are talking to microphone and you hear the.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't
it's
do
just-
it.
I don't like it.
Oh,
Not
it's
that.
horrible, man.
Not that I hear it often, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. Anyway, all right. Would you rather fight? This is a good one.
I'm not a fighter, man. I'm a lover.
All right. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Wait, let me try pitch. So one horse-sized duck. I wouldn't even like to fight a duck-sized duck. One horse-sized duck and one. Wait, what was the question?
Or 100 duck-sized horses.
Oh, 100 duck-sized horses, man.
Bar.
I'll send them horses to for 50. Oh yeah, I'll check side. Horses will get check sided from the boundary.
That is it's a stupid one, but it's been playing on my mind.
But bro,
Right.
even a duck-sized duck, and that's scary as.
I hate ducks.
That's scary. Then they've even like
Ducks and geese, man.
geese and
Ducks
swans
and-
and gus and
I hate them. I hate ducks, geese.
Yeah, nah,
whatever.
I
Anything
could-
that chases you,
yeah, I could boot.
magpies.
Yeah, magpies. Did I tell you my dog got swooped by a magpie?
No, tell me.
We were running, and I seen the magpie like go for him, and I was gonna call him, but then I was like, nah, he's got to learn, man. He's got to learn.
Well, they
and I
have to
seen
learn.
it dive, and it just was like a jet going straight for him.
So
as soon
you-
as he got hit,
So you didn't help him because you're scared of him too?
Well, yeah, but like for like the sake of the podcast, like I wanted to teach him a lesson, you know.
Yeah. Well,
But I'm scared of him.
off topic, but here's the magpie story. I still remember to this day, and it's sort of like, man, I'm traumatized from it. My dad was home, and I walked home from school. Anyway, I remember there was always this one tree near my house that magpies are notorious for being at, and the swoop and everything, swooping cars, like anything, bikes, whatever. Anyway, I remember walking home from school, and I just had to try and get past this one little street to try and get through to get home. Anyway, I got stuck right in the middle where this tree was, and a magpie swooping me. There would have been 3 or 4, I reckon.
No.
I'm not even over exaggerating. I reckon 3 or 4. I reckon 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. And I'm just screaming, crying on the ground. Got the bag over me, just crying, screaming. And there's this old lady I still remember to this day who came over with the broomstick and gave it to me because, man, I reckon I was there. It seemed like half an hour, but I reckon I was there 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and I was just screaming for help. Anyone to come and help me. And I reckon still to this day that was one of the scariest moments. And every time I do see a magpie now, I'm just stressing out.
You get
I stress
PTSD
out.
from it.
Mate, it's the worst thing ever because even training around the footy oval as well, you're running, and on the far side,
Oh, you got him there?
there's always this one magpie, and I'm just,
You're weary, man.
I don't want to go over there.
Man, I had the same thing. On my street from home, there was a magpie nest, and so every morning, man. Every morning, every afternoon.
No, yeah.
And you see them, when they fly, man,
I seriously can't stand them.
they fly so low and straight and fast. They're like fighter jets.
I still can't, I can't stand them.
And they're
man,
smart
honestly.
too. They're just, oh, bro.
All right, last one. And I want it quick too. What's your guilty pleasure song?
No one, Alicia Keys.
Nice song.
Beautiful song, man.
That's a good song, man.
Beautiful song. I swear I sing it just like her.
And also with that too, if you could live in any fictional, is that a word?
Fictional? Yeah. Fictitious? Fictional? We make up our own words here. We're right.
Fictional,
Yeah.
a made up
Yeah.
universe. Where would it be? Fictional.
What? So it has to be like already established, or like
No,
from a movie or something
so
like that.
fiction. So it can be like
Oh man, I'm going Harry Potter universe. Yeah.
Fiction. That's fiction.
Harry Potter?
Like,
Yeah, I'm going Harry Potter universe.
fiction's fake, isn't it, or non-fiction?
No, fiction's fake. Non-fiction's real.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So Harry Potter universe.
fictional.
Yeah.
Fiction.
I'd much rather see. It's between
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter universe and.
I actually have not seen. I've seen Harry Potter, but I haven't watched a whole
Bro, what? Actual?
actual. Yeah. Actually, I have not watched a full.
Not a full movie. So you've watched like
is it a
glimpses
movie or
of
is it episode? Like, I actually have not.
Bro, I'm starting to question if I even want to do this podcasting stuff with you.
It's a true story, man.
Really?
Yeah, and Lord of the Rings as well.
What?
Well, Lord of the Rings, I definitely doze off. Like I did.
Yeah,
doze
no,
off.
okay. Lord of the Rings is given like it takes a couple of
But-
attempts to like get through them.
Yeah. So,
But like you haven't watched, so there's not a single.
Harry Potter.
So do you know who Dobby is?
Like I know him. But
Who's Dobby then?
Dobby's the weird looking one, isn't it?
Dobby's an elf. Dobby's like a little elf, bro. He's like the most. I can't even explain it without sounding like.
But weird.
yeah,
Dobby's weird ears.
he looks weird.
Weird
yeah.
ears?
He looks weird, but he's like, but you love him. You know, he's like.
Oh yeah, like I'm not.
You know
saying
what I
don't
mean?
love him, but I'm
Like-
saying he's weird. Like, I'm not saying I don't love weird people.
It's
or
hard.
weird-looking
Yeah,
things.
but how have you not seen Harry Potter? How have you?
I don't know.
You've got 3, but surely
They've
your
watched
girls
it. They've watched it.
and they haven't been like, oh, Dad, you got.
But like I've watched it, but I haven't.
you just can't get in. You just can't get into it.
Nah, I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
I
What?
find it cool, but is it? I don't know. I just find it too long.
That's my childhood. That's like my whole childhood.
Yeah,
You didn't
see-
watch it either.
See, I just find it too long.
Pause. Damn. So you haven't watched?
Nah.
Is there any like? Because I'm a big movie person. Like I love movies. I love universes. Even like TV shows like Power. I watch Power. Oh, Effie messaged me too. Did you watch Power?
I watched about yeah.
You know Effie from Power. She was on Power and
Yeah.
she's on Ghost.
Yeah.
And so I'll see you at the wedding.
Yeah.
So because we're gonna get married now. But so she messaged me. I put it on my story.
Who's gonna get married?
Huh? Me and Effie. Alex Lepre.
Effie
Bro.
Harlot.
Effie Garlett. Yeah, me and Effie Garlett, boy. Nah, bro. I put it on my story and then she like replied back to my story and stuff like that. I was jerking wicked. But
There you go.
so you watch Power?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ghosts and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So do
Watched
you like?
that.
Are you more true? You like more true movies?
So I
and
watched a
stuff
little
like
bit of Tommy too when they had the they got
Gun.
The,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched a little bit of that on the planes and that sort of stuff flying over east or whatever. But yeah, I don't know movies. I'm Seinfeld man. Like
You're
I watch
Seinfeld,
Seinfeld
yeah,
all the way
too,
through
yeah,
because
yeah.
it just relaxes me and like I will watch movies, but
Yeah.
I don't know
Like
Harry
how
Potter.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, or
Double
the
in that.
Kings of Queens.
Kings of Queens. Gun.
Oh, Kings
That's
of
a good.
Queens,
That's a great
Kings
show.
of Queens is up there. You got Friends, which everyone sort of
Friends
goes
is
to.
good. I mean, it's all right. Like I like How I Met Your Mother. I rate How I Met Your
That's
Mother
good.
better than Friends.
That's good.
'Cause,
How I Met- they're funny.
They're
bit of-
freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. So
My Wife and Kids.
yeah, watch that. Yeah,
Goated show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm more of those little, those type shows, episodes rather than actual movies. So yeah, that's me.
Wicked. So, we have a segment on this show where this. I'll let you explain it because this was a brilliant idea. Something that you brought to the table, and it's something that this show is all about. It's something that the podcast is about. It's something that we're going to build on in the future. I'll let you explain it. I won't give away too much.
So it's a segment that I sort of would you call it a segment? Yeah, a segment. Sort of something that I've saw in other podcasts, maybe one other podcast where they talk about giving someone their flowers regardless of who it is or what they do, but someone who you think may not get the recognition for something that they've done or something that they continue to do or whatever it may be. And they may not look for it or they may not ask for it. They may not want it, but I feel like sometimes you just need to give someone a pat in the back and
So they might not even.
they might not even know.
They might
Whether
not
they
even
see it or
know.
not is a whole different story. But
Yep.
if you see something within the community or within your life or yourself or whatever it may be, or someone that's helped you as a young kid, or
Yep.
someone that's helped me throughout my career, who I just want to give a shout out to, whether I've told them once before or if I haven't told them before. Just a little segment that sort of gives recognition to someone else within the community.
And that's something for our listeners, to be able to engage with. If you know that person or know of them, tag them in it, show, send it to them or whatever, or whatever the case may be. If they're in the area, who are you giving your flowers to this week?
Well, I was going to start with you, considering it was my idea to bring it up. Now I want you to pick someone to give flowers to.
I'm going to give my flowers to Mark. So Mark has pretty much been this angel that's come in, has said, like, look, I've got this facility here. I've got some podcasting equipment. Like, we've got our equipment. And for the last year, we've kind of been trying to find a home for this podcast, somewhere where we can expand the show, do different stuff. Like we said, have fun with it. Yeah. He's kind of come in and been like, look, I've got this facility, come and use it. He just came in before, checked in on us, made sure we was all good. I want to give my flowers to him. I feel like that's something, this is something not a lot of people are willing to do. They're not willing to, step out and just help because they can. Not to look for anything in return. But I want to give my flowers to Mark for that.
Yeah, good. Good.
That's what I'm giving mine to.
That's a good one.
Who are you giving yours to?
For me, I want to give it to you, purely because, obviously you're doing a lot of welcome to countries these days. Ditch playing and helping out wherever you can. And I've been lucky enough to, come to a few little events that you've done, and you do a really good show, and you do it just because you do it because you enjoy it. So I want to give my flowers to you, but then also for me to be involved with the podcast as well. Something that I've never thought that I would ever do down the line. I always thought that the media side of things that I would jump into at some stage, and but I feel like this is more beneficial because you talk about life and you talk about other things that we can give people their props, and I don't know, it's just something that's a bit of fun, that a little hobby that you started, a hobby that I've grown to like, and something that I always like to have a bit of a yarn about too. So I'll give you my flowers, man, and I just want to say thank you for letting me be a part of it and be on board.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So for our listeners at home, whether you're listening on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or whether you're just watching the shorts and you don't listen to the long videos, we don't really care. We don't care. But if you are watching the shorts, go and check out our full episode. We've got more and more coming in every 2 weeks. We've got more episodes. We've got some huge guests coming in. I'm absolutely thrilled, to get to this point where we are. I'm ecstatic to have you on the podcast as a co-host regularly. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna spread some good messages. We're gonna get some good episodes out there. So stay tuned. Keep in touch. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Reshare, comment whoever you think you want to see on this podcast. We'll be happy to get them on, get them in for a yarn. Izzy, myself, will say Bordawan, which means see you later. And we got Sonson here on the Kiya Podcast Show. Welcome, man. Great first episode.
G'day guys, Sonny here
And Izzy
from the Kiya Podcast. Just want to give a shout out to MSIA Security.